heck of a lot of fun, Jeanne Robertson. Oh, she's a heck of a lot of fun, Jeanne Robertson.
Okay, everybody. Hello. This is Jeanne Robertson. I'm on my back porch here in North Carolina. And I know that in other parts of the world, they're expecting, or our country, they're expecting 3 feet of snow places. We have a gorgeous spring day. Had one yesterday, too. But, of course, make sure I got it down. That's supposed to change next week, and it's going to rain all week. So now that you have a weather report, there you go. Let me tell you about this week because it's very, very special. And I am so excited to have Kay Francis coming on in just a few minutes. Let me do a few logistical things. First of all, during the night, while I slept last night, my YouTube clips went over 108 million hits. That is directly responsible to my Facebook buddies. Y'all not only watch them over and over, it seems like sometimes, you share them with your friends when you want to. And I really appreciate it. Tony, do you remember when we hit the first million and we said, holy cow, this is the best thing?
A million hits. It was on, so don't send a man to the grocery store.
Don't send a man to the grocery store.
How many does it have now?
It's
20?
About at 14 million itself, I think. I'm not sure.
It's
I'll have
more
to check
than that.
Oh, you got it? Can you see Tony back there at the table?
No, don't need to see me, but they can hear me.
Okay, they can hear. And I think 108 million is a lot. And this is an anniversary day. And 1 year ago today, we were on the back porch with the first one of these shows because Jackie Kanabi, a friend of ours who books me through Al, the Nashville people, said, you called and said, you got to think of something to do to keep your name out there during this crisis. And I said, okay. So Patrick, Henry, do you remember the equipment we had that day? I sat in a chair.
It's very complicated.
Very complicated. It was
a phone.
Was it a flip phone?
No, I'm not. No.
You're not that old.
It's insulting.
Okay. You had one little phone. And I think it wasn't even the full picture. Wasn't it a little thing in the very center of a line? Because everybody wrote and said, make it bigger, make it bigger.
For the first few, I held it the wrong way. And your fans were so nice to tell me to turn it sideways. And so that became our evolution into technology that's over the last year.
So you wouldn't want me to mention again the time I was upside down for the show.
I thought you looked great.
Just as great as
it was only a little while.
For those of you who haven't been, and we have a lot of people who said, I have been with you all 52 weeks. And y'all, I appreciate it so much. We didn't know. We were just having fun. And it has grown and grown and grown. And the Friday afterwards, we always get the statistics on how I did worldwide. And we're blown away by it, and we appreciate you telling your friends. It's just, for us, it's just been a lot of fun. But now we have 3 cameras. We have a mixer. That doesn't mean we know what we're doing with all this stuff, but we give it a shot. And y'all still tell us the sound is wrong, the lights are wrong. What's that walking down the street behind you back there? Several times this year, I have been out of town on Saturdays, and we have had the show in at the beach one time, and last week we had it in the hotel lobby there in Tallahassee, and we had it 3 or 4 weeks ago driving through Atlanta trying to get somewhere. The whole show was from that.
Well, let me just say this. We had at one point we thought we were going to have a soccer tournament in Asheville with my son Robert, and we're like, well, what are we going to do about the show? And Leslie said, Jeanne will get a room, bring her.
I went to the beach. I got a room and showed up on the court. And I've done also down in Sumter, South Carolina on Missy, my friend's porch. Where else have I been? Only about 5 or 6.
Well, in the car.
In the car was an interesting show. It was just wild because we were in the downtown.
And things are turning around now.
Huh?
Things are opening back up.
Things are opening back up. I see a tiny light. And I told y'all about that. I have a little pop-up on Thursday nights. And Thursday night, I told you that one of y'all named Linda Burr, B-U-R-R, had sent me this gorgeous pillow that she made. And on the back of it are beavers holding sticks. And I was just so excited. And then right here, she has what is you call it? Stitched, created for, thank you, the bestest humorist, Jeanne Robertson. I appreciate that. But March 21 by Linda Burr, Burr. And I showed y'all this on Thursday night for my little pop-up, which I'm inviting y'all on that. It's just real quick and not but I forgot. Linda called and said, but you showed the wrong side. Okay. It's actually over here that she embroidered. Is that the word? What is it? Is she quilted?
Yes.
Quilted.
This beaver over here, and then this is a pretty something over here. We didn't know
It might be his big tail.
Might
I'm not
be his
sure.
big
Linda
tail
will have to
coming
tell
from
us.
here.
The quilted
flapping
beaver. It
up.
sounds like an English pub, doesn't
It
it?
does. It does sound like an English pub. And so, Linda, I'm sorry I didn't show that side. I thought the back side was pretty too. And all of your stitching and all of that. People send these things. I have ordered a special card that lets me sound where you buy cards and they're playing music and all. I've got one of my stories on it. So when I get that, I'll start using that card. I also got a big candle. Remember I told you about being on the podcast with Frank and Desi, two 13-year-old boys from Chicago. Nicest kids you'll ever meet. I think I'm going to have them on one show. I don't know if for the whole hour, although they could probably take over.
Gene Black says it was applique.
It was applique.
No.
Yeah.
Is that
No,
what
it's
somebody
actually
said?
Quilted, I believe.
Quilted applique.
She's a quilt person.
Let the
How
debate
about-
begin.
How about something very special?
That's right.
But I appreciate it. And they sent me a big candle like this. We also got a book from DL Creations, not a book, but a box yesterday from DL. And I'm going to have to explain that when we have more time. That is fascinating. Y'all are all so nice. I'm almost hesitant to show gifts because I don't want anybody to think they have to send a gift. But y'all do come up with some funny things and we appreciate it. A couple of other things. I publicly thank Tony and Patrick. I've been here 52 weeks. Some of y'all have been here 52 weeks. Even when I'm out of town, Patrick and Leslie sit out here on the
Not
porch.
Leslie.
Not Leslie. That's right. That's your daughter and that's his wife. But y'all sit out here on the porch and help do the show and keep me calm because when it doesn't go on, it doesn't go on. I also want to thank all of the guests that I've had. I haven't had a guest every week, but they give up their time. A lot of them have come to Burlington, North Carolina, and we go out to eat the night before, and they stay in the guest room or in a hotel, wherever. But that means I would say at least 40 people out of 52 have come here and done the show. And I don't think we've had a single person that hadn't just hit a home run, and they all say, what will you do next time? Putting a little pressure on you, Kay. Of Kay Francis. I know you're fixing to come on. Let me see what else we had. We can sing happy anniversary to us later. I think the best thing right now is to mention to you that next week, after the great guest we have this week, we will have probably one of the queens of the Grand Ole Opry, well-known Grammy winners, everything. I'll tell you all about her later. By the way, I mentioned this last week and y'all started guessing. You've guessed. A number of people have guessed Vince Gill.
He's not one of the queens of the Grand
He's
Ole
not
Opry.
one of the queens of the Grand Ole Opry, but Amy Grant, you have Alison Krauss, you've had all these people, and a number of you actually did guess the guest for next week. So I'll give you a little bit more information as the show goes on. But today's guest is a woman from Ohio and a friend of mine, actually a friend of Tony's and Patrick's and mine. She is a member of the National Speakers Association. We'll tell you how and when we met a little while later. Her name is Kay Francis. She's a member of the Ohio Speakers Chapter, which I've spoken to. And Patrick, you're speaking to them up there in May, I think, the Ohio chapter, and one of our really strong chapters. And I have spoken to them too and got lots of friends there. And I think a lot of them are listening in today. So right now, let me bring on the screen. Next week's guests, we have some on porch and some on screen. And Kay is on the screen. Will you welcome my friend, Kay Francis? Yay! Hey, girl, how you doing?
I am doing so well. Thank you so much for. Oh, Jeannie, will you hold on? This is so rude. I'm sorry, but we've been playing phone tag, and it'll just. Charles Barkman, how you doing? Yeah, of were on for dinner. Yeah, yeah. No, I'm on that show. I don't think you know her, but yeah. Oh man, your golf game is getting so good. I'm telling you, I'm not sure I can even keep up anymore.
Y'all got me.
Yeah.
Y'all got me.
No, we're on, and yes, I will bring my green bean casserole. It's I know it's killer, and you love it. But listen, no, I am kind of busy right now, but I know. Let me call you back. All right, bye bye. I am so sorry. Charles Barkley he gets to be a bit of a pest. He
just wants to do things with you all the time.
Constantly. I mean, I like him, and his wife is a sweetie, but it's just, anyway, but I'm so sorry that was so rude.
Well, let me mark off a question, because I was going to say, do you by any chance know Charles Barkley? I want to have Charles Barkley on my show so badly.
I know.
We have something in common that you don't have in common, Kay. Charles and I both went to Auburn.
Yeah, I did not
Tony went to Auburn. Patrick grew up in Auburn.
I went to Auburn.
Yeah,
that was a good year.
I can spell it. That was a good year.
That'll get you to your sophomore year right there. So, no, we loved it. But you got me. That was great. So let's tell these people, my great followers of my work, and now a lot of others too. How do you remember us meeting?
Well, it was through the National Speakers Association, and it was 16 years ago, and we met through the Tall Women PEG, which you put together many, many years ago.
79, I put it together.
That's amazing. And I know you've talked about this before, but it's basically, if you're 6 foot or over, it's just an accident of birth. You get to hang with Jeannie. Sorry, guys. And you get to
go up. We started it in 79. Found 2 other women over 6 feet. And I said, y'all want to discuss where to get clothes? Now, this is a professional meeting. But at that point, so we had breakfast. And the next year we did it, and we had seen a couple of more tall women. And we aimed for 6 feet or over. There is one in there, Rebecca Morgan. She was at the table one morning, and we didn't see her stand up. And she was talking, and she came into the comment. We don't talk about clothes now. We talk about business, how to get speeches, funny things that happen to us. What can we do to get how to market and all this? And we just meet. We have no dues. We have nothing. It's just a fun thing. And a member of your chapter, Randall Reeder, who he knows everything about Will Rogers.
Yes.
And he comes and takes our picture and all that. Tony's got a hand up. What is it?
Randall just popped on and said, would you like to see pictures
of the tall pig in those old dresses?
Yeah.
I don't know. Throw up a couple.
You got Randall, if you can put a picture up, they would love to see it.
He comes every time, and he does his rope like Will Rogers, and he has camera equipment and takes pictures. And we've all known him.
We have to explain about this picture. It's a no back row picture.
Back
if you're
row.
Tall, you are always tall people in the back. Well, we line
center
up
back row.
That's right.
She's exactly right, because Randall would come and take our picture, but all tall women know you're expected to stand on the back row, so we have a no back row.
No back row. Yeah.
How does Randall throw up a picture of the tall women's? And he's got pictures of our tall women's PEG, because the PEG stands for Professional Emphasis Group. Because people say, what are all those women doing over there at those 2 or 3 tables? Professional Emphasis Group. No, it's not. We don't have dues. We don't have a newsletter. We just get together at the convention.
It's nice. It's
a lot of fun. Figure out a way. But Randall, thanks for all your help. So that was years ago. People think you hang out. You go to the speakers convention, and then you go home. And hopefully before last year, you got on the road and went speaking.
Yeah.
But you and I both more in humor, and all of the tall women are not in humor.
Right.
They're serious. They have serious
business speakers.
Business people. They're hoping one of us will say something funny. They could write it down.
I know, right? Exactly.
I don't think we're going to get a picture, because Randall just said, "How do I do that?"
Oh, okay. Well, maybe we'll have to follow up with that, Randall.
We'll try to find.
So that's 14 years ago. You started your career. Yeah, 16 years ago?
Yeah.
Holy cow. So how long have you been, I've got all your questions ready, but a lot of them revolved around how long you've been doing comedy. You're a motivational speaker, a comedian, and you have several little how would you phrase Polly podcast?
Well,
An alter ego?
I have a committee in my head that lives in my head, and they come out as various characters. So, the nice thing when you're a humorist, they don't haul you away for this kind of thing. You get paid for it. So it's
I know.
I
It's
have a few different I'm developing another one, Polly's neighbor Delilah, who is
I heard that.
she's her nickname's Doomsday because she'll come up and say, the government, they can fly over your house and count the change in your pockets. And you're like, Delilah, but would they? Do they care? So I'm flushing out Delilah. Just order some classes. Yeah.
Now, I mentioned a while ago that when I insinuated we had the Jeannie Seeley coming next week, but didn't give her name, you'd be surprised how many people said, "Is it Dolly Parton? Is it Dolly Parton?" You could be Dolly Parton, couldn't you?
Well, this is just a really, a consolation prize, but
go ahead.
I'll do okay. Since you begged.
Come again, looking better than a body has a right to, and shaking me up so that all I really know is here you come again, and here I go, here I go, here you come again, and here I go. So again, and we look so much alike.
So bill yourself, you're not an impressionist really, but I happen to know that, well, I'm going to tell this on you. I was on the airplane one day and the woman next to me she found out what I did for a living. I just gave her a few brochures. I don't know what the problem was. She's
casually put them in the seat pocket. Yeah, I know that.
Yes.
Trick.
She said, "Are you a member of the National Speakers Association?" And I said, "I am." Thought, well, she's recognized me. I was a past president. I know a lot of speakers. And then she said, "One of my best friends is a speaker, and she's tall too. And I think she belongs to the tall women's group." And I said, "Oh, well, who is she?" And Kay, it was embarrassing. She gave a name, and I'd never heard of that name. I knew that woman was not a member of our group. She was probably short and just wanted to be. I mean, I don't know who it was. And she said, "Oh, I know that's right." And I said, "Where's she from?" And he said, "Well, she's in Ohio now." And I said, "Well, I know a lot of speakers in Ohio. I've spoken to their chapter." "And what's her name again?" And she told me again. And I said, "No, the only one I know is named Kay." And she said, "That's her stage name." I swear. She said, "Is that true? This is a stage name."
Well,
and I know why. I bet you. You tell me why. I bet I could guess it.
Well,
you had another job.
It's my first and middle name. It is my first and middle name. I just dropped my last name. It's because I was in the corporate world and started doing stand-up comedy on the side. And then they started putting it in the newspaper. Well, I didn't want them knowing. I didn't want anybody coming, And so then by then you have headshots and all those years on the road doing stand-up comedy. I wasn't in always the best, venues. And so if you check into this seedy hotel and, Charles Manson's behind you, then they don't hear your name. And, so it gave me some anonymity and it just sort of stuck.
Well, and so do you ever think you'd have to really flop all of a sudden to change back to your real name, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just used to it now. And it's 36 years I've been using this name. So it's,
oh my gosh.
Yeah. I was 28.
I fell out laughing. I said, a stage name. Cause do you know any other speaker that's a stage name? We wouldn't know.
George Campbell.
Well, he does a character, Joe Malarkey.
Yeah.
Right.
So
right.
He does a character because you wouldn't make yourself Polly Podcaster.
No, I just fall into stuff. I don't know how. I just developed Polly by interviewing people that I was going to do a virtual presentation for. So they would have the president of their association and we'd be side by side like we are here. And I just
oh, so you're the president? Are you going to be in the debates?
So I would just ask them about their organization, their conference, and all that. And it's just sort of evolved or devolved, as it were. But yeah, I just sort
Well,
of
I'll tell you what, why don't you, I'm going to give away some prizes here. And I wish you could see if you could find Polly Podcast anywhere in the house there. And I will give away these prizes. Then I've got questions to ask you that they've sent in and all that. So you go ahead and I'll give away prize. Okay. All right. The prizes, this is the box. For those of you who might not know it or have missed the last month, what we did, we were collecting the names every week. If you send a question, then we had your name and we would give away prizes. We are now switched to let that grow for a month. So this is the second week in this month. And they're in here. We would wind up with 6. We had 6 or 7 of these grocery store bag stories down here. So you have better odds of winning. And we will also give one prize too from the people who asked in the question buckets that were chosen. So here is the first winner, and you are a prize winner. Try to contain your enthusiasm. And she tells me good luck with your taxes. Is today Saturday? I said I was going to give it 5 days and have all my taxes done. That was Monday. Okay. The winner is Trina Spees Welker, Welker. So Trina, what you do is did you get that? The middle name is Spees, Spees. You can throw that up, Welker. Okay. Now you can choose from, you can get a left brain baseball cap. I know that would be a thrill for you there. Has stuff. And then you can get, you can't get that one. That's the big prize that goes later. You can get any of my 9 CDs, or you can get my new book, which is Don't Bungee Jump Naked and Other Important Stuff. All you do is you email Tony, Toni, at JeanneRobertson.com.
It's on the screen.
Is it on the screen? That's where you go. And tell her whether you want to have what you want. And she'll sign it to who you want it signed to. You're going to say something else, Tony?
Just you said CDs, also DVDs.
Oh, DVDs,
either one.
Yeah. As what is it you say about 1,000 times a week? You can see the CD, the DVD. You can hear the CD, but you can't see it. Isn't that right, Tony?
I think you got it.
Yeah, I think you got it. All right, let's give away another one right down here. Get down in the bag. And this person is Paul and Curtis Hansen. Hansen. No, it's Paula and Curtis Hansen. Paula and Curtis. Okay. Not sure where y'all are from, but you have won a prize of Hansen.
Gotcha.
Paula
Got it.
and Curtis. I don't know where y'all are from, but you have written some nice things. So thank you. And you are a second winner. Do you think that Polly Podcaster is back, Patrick?
I think she may be.
Okay, then that will give away lots more prizes in a little while. So let's see if we can get in, because last we saw her, Kay Francis was going to see if she could find Polly Podcaster. And Polly's, hello. But it says, Kay Francis. Are you Polly Podcaster or are you Kay Francis?
I'm using her computer.
Okay.
She I don't know where she I think she's talking to somebody about going to Rhode Island. She's been in all the states, I think. I don't know, but so yeah.
Are you saying that Kay Francis has been in all the states?
Well, no,
49.
No, she's been in 49. She's been in Rhode Island though.
Okay, I've been in 49 too, but I don't think there is a Rhode Island. I don't know how to tell people, but I've been doing this 57 and a half years and I've never spoken in Rhode Island. I now believe there's a Charles Barkley, but I don't believe I've spoken in Rhode Island. So she said you're going to ask me a few questions. Is that correct?
Yes, that's absolutely. Jeannie, this has been, do I have your name? Wait a minute. I think, hold on a minute. First of all, this is a crossover event. Now I'm on her show and she's on my podcast. Now I don't have as many viewers. I think I have 4, but they're very loyal. But let me, hold on. I'm here with Joni Robinson. Is that right?
No, Jeannie.
Oh,
It's Jeanne Robertson without it. So
says Joni.
does it? Okay.
No,
So
well,
should I?
we'll agree to disagree. We'll go with your version. But so Jeannie, it is. Listen, it is. I joke, I kid, but you're really amazing, and I wanted to ask you about your beauty pageant days because I think it's absolutely amazing. Now, you were Miss. Not Miss Rhode Island, obviously,
No,
because that
I was
doesn't
not Miss
exist.
Rhode Island.
It didn't exist. Miss North Carolina. And you know what fascinates me is that in the Miss, am I saying this right? Merca? Is it
Miss
Merca?
America pageant.
Miss
Miss
Merca?
America. That's right.
You were Miss Congeniality.
Well, that's the
I
one who
think
the others don't think has a chance of
No,
winning.
no, that's the one everyone likes. And so I bet you were funny. So tell us about that experience. I know that your listeners and viewers want to hear.
I had the best time. I just had the best time. And every time somebody says things like, I bet you women back there, it's just a cat fight. Are you kidding me? A bunch of girls together. We had the best time. And I did not get in the top 10. I finished 49th out of 50, Polly. There was this one pitiful girl. What did Delilah? Do you think it could be Delilah? Was one in that pageant?
Well, I have to tell you, Delilah was in a pageant and she didn't even make it. It was just a local pageant and she had on a yellow swimsuit and bless her heart, she's like 9 feet tall and weighs 3 pounds. And she had this little cap of brown hair and she looked like a number 2 pencil.
Okay, so she did not win.
She was an
I
also
beat out. I beat out. Well, if you're 49th out of 50, actually there were 52 contestants because Miss New York City thought that they should have, because they had a big town, that they should have a Miss New York State and a Miss New York City. And then there was a Miss maybe Puerto Rico. I'm not sure, but out of them, I finished next to last, and the one that I beat, well, for her talent, she played the comb, and the comb with a piece of paper around it. But Polly, you learn she was very smart because when she finished, everybody in the big place in Atlantic City was on their feet, which is what used to happen when you play the national anthem for your talent competition. Everybody stood up. But it was, I will say this, being in the pageant, it's been now 58 years, Tony, in July. Yeah. Yes. Oh, no one has milked it for more, Polly. No one has.
I think that's amazing. I mean, Delilah tells everybody she was in the whatever it was, Miss Okra. I don't know. It was something. And she still brags about it. I mean, and she was an also ran. She didn't even, and she told me that they gave her a laxative to make her stomach flat and that it didn't kick in all day until she got out and she had to run from the stage. I just think that would be horrible. And yet she still brags about being in the Miss Okra pageant. I don't know. But no, you're not an also ran. You were Miss North Carolina. And I think that's an amazing thing. And Jeannie, you're the biggest person I've ever had on my podcast. And I just I'm so grateful. And all of your listeners, I'm just looking at the comments now. They're so nice. And
can I tell you something? I love your outfit, but are those domino earrings?
Yes, they are. And I couldn't get the other one in today. I don't know. I've got a problem with I have to have them redone or something. Well, my girlfriend.
Just turn your head a little bit. Just turn your head to the side. There you go. Leave it that way.
In high school, my girlfriend Cheryl, she did it with a potato and an ice cube, and they've never been right. My ear piercings. So,
should I maybe tell you something right now? I don't have pierced ears.
No,
I've
you
never had, Tony, is this right or wrong? Never had pierced ears.
Never,
I-
no, you haven't. That's why you can't keep up a pair of
That's
earrings.
very true. These
you're
are
not allowed-
everything's a clip
You're
on.
only allowed to have the flea market $3 earrings.
That's right.
I
That's
like
right.
that. Tony's funny. Yeah,
Now,
yeah,
she's
you know,
very funny. And did you
Tony's
know Patrick? Do you know Patrick Henry?
Yeah,
He's here.
Patrick Henry. I've got a little crush on Patrick. Don't tell him. But yeah, I mean, who doesn't? Patrick's, he's just so funny and such a good singer. I hope he does a song today.
He's going to do a song today.
Oh, I
But-
hope so.
Do you have another question you would want to ask me? And then look,
No,
we'll put Kay on, and people have sent questions they want her to answer.
okay.
I think I've done a good job. Do you think I've done a good job answering your questions?
I think you are a good hostess, and you're also a good guest. I mean, you answer all my questions, and I just, oh wait, Jeannie, I'm sorry, my little Shih Tzu's nipping at my ankles. I have to go. I'm sorry.
Excuse me, what did
she
you
just-
say?
My little Shih Tzu, and
Oh,
she
okay.
just pees all the time, and she's nipping at my ankles, and I don't know. And this is why I have to have this background up because. Well, anyway, it's not about me. It's all about this is your show, and I listen. I am
No,
so honored to have been on your show, and that you were on my little podcast. And
anytime, Polly, anytime
Okay.
you want me to be on, I will be on. I will
thank
promise you. See if you can find our mutual friend Kay.
Okay, I'll go find Kay, and then I'll send her back to the chair.
Okay, thank you for
Oh, you're
coming.
welcome. Thank you.
Bye
Jeannie.
bye. She scared me on the Shih Tzu.
I thought she was still talking about that girl who got the laxative on the
This is a genius idea for her. I'm saying this as a speaker because she can interview presidents and send out clips to the president of the company's people or whatever. I mean, I think it's a great idea. She's a marketing genius, I can assure you. So I'll not give another present while she's gone to look for Kay to come back. This is the same thing. This will be right here. Is that one or two? One question, but you get this to choose from the prizes. Patrick, I think we have some of your CDs over here. Married Man, don't we?
You think we got enough?
I think you got enough. I've seen that inside of that closet. All right. Hello from Tallahassee, Florida. Though that person is saying something from there. Okay, here's the name. Linda Barinu Smith. Barineau. Now, Linda, you know Tallahassee was where I was this time a week ago, sitting in the lobby of the Doubletree Hotel, eating my cookies and having this show from that hotel. So I had a good time. But you've won. You have won this prize while Polly is changing clothes and getting back in here as Kay Francis. And so that's 3. Okay. All right. I think we have our original person back. So, Kay, are you there?
I am. Hey. Yeah. Polly
Kay.
is.
No, I know. Polly's perfect. Okay. Polly's a good idea for. I just can see you saying to an association or a company, would you like for me to interview your president and send it to all the members? And this, God.
Polly has been the gift that keeps on giving because I offer that as added value, because, with doing virtual presentations and they're like, well, you don't have to travel and this and that. And I said, listen, tell you what I'll do. I will throw in 1 or 2 promotional videos. And that's why when I did my promotional videos for you, that's one of the things I worked on since the shutdown. I have just embraced virtual. It is so fun. So I had so much fun putting those together. It was, it wasn't hard
And
to
I
do.
didn't know about it. I did not ask you to do
I know,
that. And then
I
here
know.
these 5 clips came rolling in, and I said, how good can these be? I've never known of her doing clip, and put them on and said, whoa. And that's how we introduce you to so many people.
I know. I
So,
can't believe I just did it and sent them. I didn't even
all right,
ask
here's
permission.
some questions for you. Okay.
Okay, I'm
From
ready.
My people that like to
And
just
you
have
know
fun
I'm-
on Saturday.
I'm an open book. I'll answer anything.
Okay. All right. Well, this one is a wasted question, but thank you anyway, Sue Church from Wisconsin. Miss Kay, do you know Charles Barkley? Well, I
Well.
see But Charles doesn't even know we're asking about him. Bless his
know.
heart. So you've already answered that.
Yes,
you don't, but Polly does.
Yes,
no,
exactly.
You do.
Well,
You
I
do.
know. You think you have trouble keeping my personality straight. I just people go, is that an alter ego? I don't know.
No.
Sometimes I just start talking like I don't know. It's anyway. Enough
I
about
got
my-
another one
I
right
do
here.
that too.
What'd you say, Patrick?
I do that too.
Okay, you just start mumbling and talking the more we work together on this show. Okay. K from Jeannie, Jeannie, the way our guest next week spells her first name, Jeannie Seeley. K, Jeannie Fowler says, what one event was a turning point where you decided comedy was the direction you definitely wanted to pursue?
Oh goodness. It was my first time on stage. The bug bit me and I was done. And oddly, it was on a Club Med trip in Cancun, Mexico. I just got dared to go up and do talent night because I'd been cracking jokes. And so I went up there and half the audience spoke French. They didn't even, but they laughed and, I guess I just looked funny. But, and that was it. I went back to where I was living at the time, which was Oklahoma. And I had my, the day job and everything. And I went to open mic nights and started watching. And I thought, how hard can that be? Well, it's not as easy as it looks. So I started doing open mic nights. And then a year later, I worked for 3 companies in a row that went bankrupt by the time I was 28. And I said, I'm just done with it. I'm going to go on the road.
Were you the reason they went bankrupt?
Well, the fact that I was in sales ought to give you, yeah. No, but, and I didn't know how to tell my parents. I thought I'm going to go on the road and be a touring stand-up comedian. And I thought, well, I won't come right out and tell them what I do. I'll just describe it to them. So I said, well, I work late at night and show people a good time. Oh, my Lord, our daughter's a hooker. I said, no. They laugh when I perform. And she's not even good at it. So, yeah.
Okay. All right, I know how I got in. I backdoored in, and the first speech was in Fayetteville, North Carolina, and I was funny. And man, that whole year I gave speeches. To crown the next Miss North Carolina, and the following week spoke at 3 state conventions and never looked back. I don't understand. We had Karen Mills on here too. So you go in the comedy club and you get better and better, and you hit home runs. And then somebody comes up and says, hey, I can book you. I mean, how does it do that? Now you're doing also motivational speaking. You've written a book. What's the name of your book?
The Funny Thing About Stress.
Okay, so you've really gone and studied stress and the funny side and how to handle all that. So you've matured past comedy clubs. But what is that? How does it happen? Do they just come up and say, I can book you?
No, I've always been a marketer, as you know, and people did start offering me things. They were offering me work, and I thought, I can do this. But then I had to expand, and I did a lot of auditioning. I lived in Oklahoma City. I drove to Amarillo and back. I think it was 400-mile round trip to do a showcase where they'd give you 3 minutes to get up. And I remember I got audited that first year because my income fell by like 90% because I had a decent corporate job. And I think they just wanted to say, why? Why did you do this? Yeah. But the lady's going through my notes and she said, there's a 400-mile trip here with no hotel. I said, yeah, I drove. I couldn't afford the hotel. I drove and came back, and she was just floored. But that's what I did. A lot of driving around, auditioning, sending tapes, and then word of mouth. And it just begins to grow that way. And this was in the 80s. So comedy clubs were springing up on every corner. So
every hotel had them. Everybody. And I never went that route. That's why I'm fascinated by you doing this and then hanging in there and making it good. You said you live in a house that's 165 years old?
150 years old. Let's not age her more than she already is.
I know, but is it about to fall down on you today? It looks great.
Listen, it's been, and one of my YouTube threads is called "How Hard Can It Be?" And one of them was I just always am fighting something. And I had a raccoon living in my basement, and last time I paid a guy $50. So I thought, how hard can it be? I have traps where I trap outdoor cats and spay and release. So I thought I'll get that raccoon. So I have a whole video on trapping the raccoon, getting it out of my hand. And it didn't even want to leave. It didn't want to leave the trap. It was very bizarre. It really wanted to stay.
I
It was
saw
it's
that.
like having a teenage
good.
son in my basement. It just would.
I trap possums at our house.
You do. That's right. Same deal. You found out what it costs to do these things,
That's
and think
right.
there's a better way to
No,
do
the
this.
Terminator lady said you got an animal under your house, and they told me to call this number, and I did. And I said, well, what are you going to do? He said, well, we'll take a trap, and we'll put it down here and put cat food in it, and then we'll catch it and release it. I said, well, how much does that cost? He said, $800. I said, what kind of trap? And he told me. I said, I can get that at Lowe's, right? He said, yep. I said, have a nice day. And I became a possum trapper.
Now, do you carry them far away? I don't care where they go. I don't care if they live outside, like on my back porch. I don't have a back porch as fancy as Jeannie's. I just have an outdoor back porch. I don't care. I don't carry them away. I just don't want them in my basement. I don't want them in my house.
You plug the hole they came in from.
Well,
find out how they got
from
in.
which they came.
You know how it came in?
Right.
You know how it came in? I was holding my back door open and I was reaching to do something. You know how you kind of prop your leg? It walked in, right? I mean, it walked right past me and went down the basement. I was like,
excuse me.
Yes.
Pardon me.
And then I was like, I don't speak raccoon. I'm like, excuse me. I was like, hey, get out. I thought, I'm trying to talk to it. And it just lumbered on down in the basement. And then that was it. It hunkered. I think it was wanting to have babies.
But this is the interesting thing. People like you and Patrick, and and I do the same thing. You turn it into a piece of material.
I turned it into a video.
My family comes up to me and says, Left Brain has said, I think I just did something you can tell about. I said, oh, wonderful. What is it? All right, let me get another question for you. This is so much fun. Patrick, I want you to sing a song, and then we're going to really show them a singer afterwards. No offense.
None taken.
Okay. All right. Okay, you've already answered this almost. Anna Maria Mastrolillo. Mastrolillo. Anna Maria Mastrolio. K. Francis. So what questions? Well, at one of your funny clips that you put up with Polly, you were saying you would answer questions, no, and all that.
No.
So she said, what will you not answer? And then also, what was your favorite subject in school? Did you go to school?
Barely. I remember a high school teacher of mine. She couldn't believe I graduated and then went to college because I was such a screw up. She just said, she said that, I got by. I mean, my parents were teachers. I couldn't have gotten by, but I didn't bear down. I didn't care. I was just having too much fun. What was the question? And listen, I'm just coming out of menopause. You have to pardon me. There's times I looking around, they go, who are all these people? Why are they in my computer? I forget why I'm even here.
You want to tell them your age? I'm not going to tell them, but I think you look. Wait. Everybody look at this woman and think to yourself, look at that smooth skin. She's saying, make a guesstimate as to what you think she is, and then tell them how old you are.
This could get ugly.
Uh-oh. I know. Okay, you ready?
Yep.
Dun, dun, dun. And don't tell me I'm lying, because who would lie upward? I'm 65.
65
and a half. Yes.
Not 55. You're 65 and a half. And you're out there. I've seen your schedule. I just think this is great.
Jeannie, you are my North Star. You are. I want to tell a quick little, first let me answer that question really quick. Is there anything I won't answer? The only thing I won't answer are my opinions on subjects. Yeah. I stay out of the fray on anything controversial. Some things I'll give you my opinion on. For the most part, I stay non-controversial. I don't want to alienate people. I want to connect with people. But other than that, I'm an open book. I'm in recovery 28 years for drug and alcohol abuse. I haven't.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I haven't had a cigarette. I smoked 25 years, haven't had a cigarette. Well, for me, addictions are like a game of whack-a-mole. I drink too much. I'm going to do drugs. I do too many drugs. I'm going to drink more. I'm going to smoke cigarettes 25 years. Stop that. Discover the joy of sugar and carbs. Gain 40 pounds. Right. Lose most of that. Start buying shoes online. It never freaking ends. But
let me ask you on the drugs, do you think, because I never in the convention market, that was never anything that I would have thought about doing and all that. Did that come from that comedy club scene?
No, it started in high school. So
okay.
no, it
I
started.
did not know.
The first beer I had, I loved it. There was no getting used to it. I went down in the splits and counted to 50 in Spanish at a party. Now that should have been I should have said, you and alcohol
This
aren't
is a
going to
clue.
mix.
That's your
This-
talent, Miss America, right
I
there.
know. And I know the song you've got picked out for this time. So I did not know about you, Kay, but I'm proud of you.
Oh, well,
Because
thank
there's
you.
a lot of people out there that we didn't just go from here to there to there to there. It was all perfect.
Oh, it's
You
been
know,
what a ride. Yeah.
I bet your parents were furious with you.
Oh my goodness. You can't. Well, no, you know what? Honestly, my dad was worried about things like retirement and this. Mom was kind of like, you know what? You're young. Live your dreams. Of course, they've both been gone many years. They didn't get to really see me full out successful, which is,
They are both gone. I'm sorry
Yes.
for your loss. Okay.
yeah. Oh, well.
Mine are too. So Patrick came in here today and I said, are you going to sing? What could we get you? And he said, well, I'm going to sing a song I've never sung on the show. And it's one I did in bars. Isn't this appropriate? We're just talking about this and you tell me this. I did not
I thought
know
you
this.
looked familiar, Kay.
And listen, no judgment. I say drink them if you got them. Smoke them if you got them. No, it's just me. I figure if a glass of wine is good, then a 55-gallon drum's got to be better. So
Okay, I understand.
it's just me. So
Well, but you got that lick, Kay. That's fantastic. I'm proud of
day
you.
at a time. I don't know, a day at a time, but yeah, it's
Okay.
yeah.
All right, now, so this is just ironic. Are you going to sing
I
that
feel
bar
a little
song?
guilty now.
You feel guilty
No,
about
please don't. Please don't.
Kay's going to light up.
Terrible. All right, sing us your song, and then when he's through, I would like for you to sing the version that every woman has sung of the national anthem.
Oh, I will be happy to.
Okay. Okay. All right, Patrick, sing your bar song.
Pour me a shot of courage, a twist of lime and a little ice. Better make it a tall one. It's gonna be a long, hard drinking night. Ain't here for conversation. I'm walking that lonesome mile. I'll put down a few pick-me-ups and drink on it a while. Did she say I love you or I'm leaving you? I can't be sure. Confusion setting in. Bartender, won't you bring me one more? Flying high like an eagle till this wild turkey knocked me down and broke my style. It'll all make sense after I drink on it a while. Should I stay or should I go? My position's not quite clear. A few more laps round this bar stool, and I'll know which way to steer. She left so many questions, now the answers swirl round the bottom of my glass. Bartender, another round. I'm going nowhere fast. Did she say I love you or I'm leaving you? I can't be sure. Confusion setting in. Bartender, won't you bring me one more? Flying high like an eagle till this wild turkey knocked me down and broke my style. It'll all make sense after I drink on it a while. Ooh, yeah, it'll all make sense after I drink on it a while.
Clap, 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 clap. You know, where is she? Can you believe that you you told what you did right before we'd set him up? And because I said to you, your mother is going to die when you sing this song on the show. But Patrick was saying, hey, Jeannie, 10 years in Nashville, sort of like you said about a job. He said, I worked a lot of bars. I was
Yep.
making money.
Yep.
I had to make money because there was no check coming in.
That's
So
right. That's
No,
right.
I wrote for a publishing company. I made hundreds of dollars.
I know. Just rolled it in. All right, here's another question for you from my people, my great fans.
You have
here.
the best
Oh.
man. And we all know why they love you, Jeannie. You're amazing.
No, I'm just having a
you
good
are.
time.
Oh,
And
it's so
after
fun.
all, I'm 77. I'll soon be 78. And I could die, Kay, and all that material would just be sitting there for somebody.
I don't know that Patrick could do any tall women material and get by with
I
it.
know.
No,
Oh,
just
somebody
saying.
just said the Baptist prayer group will be praying. I don't know if they mean for you or for Patrick.
No, that's for me.
That's for
I'm sure
Patrick
that's
because of
me.
his mom. Have you
Well-
heard Marilyn's song about say the whole title,
The Southern Baptist Prayer Chain.
the whole Southern Baptist? It's a great song. Okay,
Well,
here's a
Somebody
question.
did say that, or you asked if I could do tall women material, tall peg material. I married a woman. I'm 6'4". I married a woman who's 5 feet tall. That's up for debate, isn't it, Tony? Yeah. But I've married a short woman. And so when we are walking as a couple and I come across a woman who's 6 foot or over, the looks they give my wife are horrible. Like she snatched somebody from
Yes,
no, I understand that.
I totally get it.
Where is she? Why did he ask her?
Yeah, totally get it.
Fortunately, I had a tall high school boyfriend, so I could go to the prom. But back then, you didn't go if you didn't have a date. But your mother, we'll hear from her right away. We're going to hear
And
from her.
by the way, I'm reading the comments here. Mary Macy guessed that I'm 83. So,
Mary.
okay. Hey, look,
Not a day over 83.
I like,
Okay. Now, do you do shows? This is Linda Krim. She is an avid follower of mine, and I just appreciate it so much. But do you do shows like I'm doing that are open to the public? See, if you do convention shows, the public can't come in. But I started about 12 years ago because of the Nashville people.
Yeah.
That I started doing the theater shows, which I love. And do you do those too?
I don't. Every now and then, if it's for a good cause, but I don't. I just basically do the funny motivational speaking to pretty much private events. Sometimes they're public. Sometimes it'll be a women's event or something like that. One time, the Funny Bone over in Dayton, because I don't do comedy clubs anymore, but they said this is a benefit for the Cancer Society. It's for colorectal cancer. It's called Laugh Your Butt Off. I said, oh, I'm in.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do that kind of thing.
Laugh your butt off and it's colorectal. That's the people with sense of humor. Good for them.
Yeah.
But I just admire you for so many reasons. What I also admire you is that you are creative and you have watched women around the nation sing the national anthem.
Oh,
is
goodness.
that right?
Well,
Can you do a little bit of that for us?
It goes on for days, and it's kind of nice. Like during the Super Bowl, you throw in a load of laundry, you come back, they're still singing. Run a 5K, come back, they're still singing. But this is my impression of every woman that has ever sung the national anthem at the Super Bowl. Oh, say, can you see? See, like what? I mean, we're trying to enjoy a patriotic moment, and all you can think is, can't they just start the game already?
I know. I don't know how you can hold that note for so long.
I could have kept going, but I have to tell you, I had 3 goals today, and I wrote myself little cards. I don't know if y'all do that, put little Post-it notes. But number 1 was slow down. I tend to talk too fast. Smile like you mean it. Is that good?
No one's ever accused Jeannie of talking too fast.
And the third one is stay off Jeannie's nerves. So I thought if I keep going on and on, 5 minutes going,
can I borrow
have
that
everybody
card?
logged off.
Patrick wants to borrow your stay off Jeannie's nerves card.
Somebody said for me it was better to have loved short than to never love at all.
I know. Oh,
At all.
Atall. Oh, these are clever
so
people.
yeah.
I can
Pat
assure you.
Baker.
So what I have found is that I was wondering if you, that's good, Pat. If I used to be able to do this frontwards and backwards. 2 all beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions, on sesame seed bun seed, sesame, onions, pickles, cheese, lettuce sauce, special patties, beef all 2. And I could go forward and backward. And then I would say, this was when I was emceeing pageants and you need any kind of filler you could do. I could say, I bet I could do it twice in a row without. And I would work up to 6 times forward and backward. So when we filmed this last tape, I said, I'm going to show off that I can do this. 2 all beef patties, bun seeds, sesame, blah, blah, blah. I couldn't do it 6 times. I don't smoke. I don't do anything. So I thought, maybe when you get older, you just don't have as much breath in you anymore. So if you can hold that note that long, you're safe.
Well, can you see? That's getting off the cigarettes. I'm just saying, I couldn't have done that 23 years ago. Believe me.
Okay, so that's interesting. All right, let's ask another question. This is so much fun. How much more time do we have?
About 4 minutes.
Oh, gosh.
Jean Poole Burton says, and tell them that the land of the free is 1 note, not 45.
Free.
I agree. Yes, I agree.
Okay. Now they know that I've been to everywhere but Rhode Island. What 49 states have you been to? Which one have you not been to?
I've actually been to all 50, but I've never appeared or spoken. It's actually Wyoming.
Really? Well, they don't have a lot of people.
There's only 500,000 people. I mean, they don't, so, and I've tried, and I have people that said, I'm on a mission. I'm going to get you a job in Wyoming. And maybe they just don't like me. I don't know. I'm trying not to take it personal, but never have spoken in Wyoming.
Who'd you speak to in Rhode Island?
You know what? I did a public event there. I did the Go Red for Women event in Providence.
Oh, good.
And then I also I did stand up in New York City and did all those little states. You do these stand up circuits. And I did one night stand up comedy in Rhode Island. So I've actually been there twice, spoken twice.
Well, I'm jealous.
Not to brag,
Not to brag. You don't really know Charles Barkley, but that's okay. Okay, let's give more prizes and then we can do the big thing here. Here's a prize right here. And this prize goes to, holy cow, if I can get this little piece of paper open. Kim Bradshaw. I remember this. She sent a picture of a really white little goat. And she said, hello from our farm in Dardenne Prairie, Missouri. Can this little lamb get a vanilla milkshake? Isn't that cute? That's the story I do on the vanilla milkshakes. So you win the prize, Kim Bradshaw. Let Tony know what you want. Now I'm going to pull one from the questions because they're not in that other bag, and just see if this person is going to get a special gift. And that gift is, are you ready, Patrick?
I'm ready.
That gift is, this is my new book, Don't Bungee, well, new now, it came out this year, Don't Bungee Jump Naked and Other Important Stuff. But this is the audio 7 hours and 20 minutes that Patrick and I recorded in the big closet here. And so this is 7 CDs. So this is the big gift of the day. And if you're not interested in it, please take it over to places where people for 1 year have been inside and nobody can come in to see them, and they can use to play, or after you listen to it. If
you don't win it and you still want it, you can go to store.JeanneRobertson.com and either buy the CDs or you can download it by clicking on the audio tab.
Patrick gets a percentage of the audio book.
Yes,
and
he does.
He always plugs it more than he does the other things, but that's okay.
You have other things?
Well played, Patrick. Well played.
Okay. The winner of the 7 hour and 20 minutes, 7 CDs, reread the book and having to throw in extra stuff, is Pam Murray Rice. Okay, Pam, this is the most expensive thing we gave away here today. Pam Murray, Murray Rice. So the question had been, whose idea was it to start these shows? And we're certainly going to continue doing them because, as I promised, I would do them until COVID was over. Of course, I was thinking that would be like last summer. So here we are. I'm still on Neil Steele's radio show 1 hour every week too. And the good thing is that on virtual, and you talk about you do well on virtual. For me, nobody laughs. On the radio, the other people in the booth laugh, when you're doing that. But Tony, you got a question?
No, but don't forget to talk about next week.
Well, I definitely want to talk about next week because we're real excited. Not that we weren't sure excited about having you. And people have already said, you got to sign her up now. Her fee's going up. I can't believe all this stuff. Thank you, Kay, for coming. But let me tell you who we do have coming next week. We have Jeanne Seely coming next week. If you haven't heard of Jeanne Seely, you're very young or you're very old or you have no interest in country music. She is one of one of 2 or 3 queens of country music. She's been on the Grand Ole Opry for more than 50 years. She's 80 years old and doesn't mind telling it, and dresses just unbelievably beautifully. And released 2 weeks ago her new single. She has a new album that came out last year. I mean, this woman is out there. And what I especially like about her is she's not one of these that goes around in your face feminist. It's just that her whole career, she has made strides that have helped the women in the country music. She was the first. She did what?
Kicked open doors.
Kicked open doors. She was the first woman to walk out on Grand Ole Opry stage in a mini skirt. And they called her right in to talk to her about that. She had come from California and they were wearing mini skirts and she thought she looked really cute. She is also the first woman to host a segment, and she still does it regularly, of the Grand Ole Opry. She has honorary doctorates. She has a Grammy from a single, a Grammy from a duet. Grammy, she's a songwriter. She's had she broke on the scene in 66. I mean, that y'all need to I can never tell you all the things that she's done without taking up all of her time. She and her husband are flying to North Carolina next Friday, and they're being met by friends, and then they are bringing them here, and they're going to be live on the porch because it worked in, and these are their good friends, and then they're heading somewhere in North Carolina for vacation. When I was asked to be on the Grand Ole Opry and didn't know a soul, I found out quickly the Grand Ole Opry people are the friendliest people you'll ever meet. They all come up and say, well, who are you? And of course, I knew who they all were. And at my door was Jeanne Seely introducing herself and welcoming me to come. So that's the way not only they all seem to be, but Jeanne Seely is known for that. And y'all, she's known for being witty. And so we're going to have a good time next week. But we need questions. Y'all need to go down, type in Jeanne Seely, Seely, and you dig up some questions that you don't think are in there and you'd like to see the answer in it. I can't believe they're coming, but it's very nice and we appreciate it. We appreciate everybody who's come for this whole year. And so I would like to ask us all to close the show by singing to the tune of Happy Birthday, Happy Anniversary to us, mainly the Facebook buddies who made this all possible. You going to sing in? We're expecting you to sing in, Kay.
Absolutely. You got it.
Don't start holding one of these notes forever or we'll never get out of here. But we'll see you here next week with Jeanne Seely. But here we go. Happy anniversary to us. Happy anniversary to us. Happy anniversary, Facebook buddies. Are we out soon? Happy anniversary to us. Kay was trying to chime in. Patrick, you didn't sing until the last line. Tony, I don't think you sang at all.
I don't sing.
I'll sing it. I'll sing it here in a second. Thanks for coming,
Thanks
Kay.
for y'all. We'll see y'all.
It's my pleasure.
Kay,
Thank you
were
so much. Thanks, guys. You're just the best. Thank you.
She's a heck of a lot of fun, Jeanne Robertson. Oh, she's a heck of a lot of fun, Jeanne Robertson.